Hello to anyone tuning in. Happy you guys are here. All right, we will get started in 1 minute. 2 blocks for class, a blanket too, or if you have a bolster. If you don't have blocks, totally fine. Maybe just grab some thicker books, stack them. We're going to use the block a lot throughout class. Hello. Welcome. I don't teach a lot virtually, so it's like I feel like I'm just talking. I'm just like looking at myself and I'm like, oh, hi. So my name is Gabby. I'm actually living in Boulder, Colorado. I used to live in Boston, and I am such a fan of Hands to Heart Center. So Hands to Heart Center is a nonprofit based out of Boston that helps provide accessible yoga to people who are affected by addiction and trauma and poverty as well. And we just wanted to say thank you for the BPL for partnering with us through this online project. Again, my name is Gabby. I will be leading you through a 60-minute gentle yoga flow. Again, 2 blocks or books, and then a blanket will be needed as well. Perhaps some water too. And just know that everything that I offer in this class is just a suggestion. So you do not need to do anything that I ask you to do, right? It's always an invitation, and then you check in with yourself and you see how it feels. We're all different body types, levels, so just honor what you need. And then when you do that, your practice is 10 times more powerful. So today we're going to get started in a hero's pose. So grab a block or your book, and you're going to come to sit on your shins as is, and then you can put the block horizontal underneath your seat. And then once you are ready, you will come to close your eyes, right? And if you feel like you have like a lot of like energy, or you're just like having a hard time sitting still, just take a moment to like shake, right? Move your hand, maybe lift your shoulders up and then drop them down your back, right? Just kind of do anything you need to wiggle it out. And if you don't feel that, then just come to a nice seat. And then if it feels comfortable, right, you can close your eyes. But if you're anything like me, sometimes closing the eyes actually makes my mind worse. So if it helps, just find maybe just something in front of you to bring a gentle gaze to, right? And then just kind of lowering your eyes, softening your eyes, perhaps bringing your gaze to the end of the nose, or if it feels comfortable, just fully closing the eyes. Just taking a few deep breaths here to meet yourself where you are. And the palms can come face down on top of the thighs. And the crown of the head is reaching up towards the sky as the tailbone is drawing down towards the earth. And then think of your spine as this nice long channel. We want to make sure to get all the kinks out, sitting up nice and tall, dropping the shoulders down the spine. Right, just clearing that channel. Release your tongue from the roof of your mouth. Really soften your face, your forehead, your cheeks, your jaw, your eyes. Notice where you may be holding any tension, whether that's in your root chakra, your belly, your face. And then just let that all just melt away. And take a deep breath in through your nose, fill up your lungs. And then opening your mouth, take a nice, slow, gentle exhale. Good, let's take two more just like that. Breathing in nice and slow through your nose. And then a very nice, slow, steady exhale. It's almost like you feel yourself coming into yourself more with every exhale. Good, one more breathing in. One more breathing out. Good, and then I just want you to take these first few moments to just be with your own energy. Just notice the emotion, the energy that you brought onto your mat today. Noticing any body parts, muscles that may be screaming for your attention, whether this is tingling or numbness, hot or cold. Just listen to that. Don't try to change it or judge it. This is your body giving you feedback as to what is happening. Our body is always giving us data to interpret. And then we have to kind of figure out how to navigate that data. Again, if closing your eyes makes you really kind of dissociate and bring you out of it, I really encourage you to just focus on something in front of you. Right? Notice the color, the textures. Really bring yourself into the present. And so today I really wanted to focus on using this practice of yoga to help us heal grief, right, and sadness. And I hear, as I practice yoga, I always hear of teachers talking about opening our hearts, right, which is so important for compassion and love empathy. But we have just gone through so much collectively over the year. And I think it's really important to also focus on closing your heart and protecting your energy. And I think we have just all felt so much in the past year. It's been too much, and I think we can all agree on that. And so today we'll really focus on kind of like folding forward and kind of just closing our hearts. And we're also going to focus on opening the lungs, right? So in Chinese medicine, grief is held in the lungs. So we're going to really work on opening the lung meridians as well. And so as I talk about the lungs, right, just continuing to come back to your breath, right? Really, as you inhale, notice the direction your lungs move, forward, back, up, down. Right? But then also notice your belly and how far your breath can go. And sometimes it can only go so far. And other days, it almost feels like it can go down through the bottom of our belly, right? So just work with what you have today. And again, don't try to change it or judge it. And we'll take 3 more breaths here. Good, last breath. And then from here, wherever you are, if your eyes are closed, then go ahead and gently open them. Good. And then really rooting down through your seat, I want you to lift your arms out overhead, taking a big breath in as you lift the arms. Good. And then I want you to turn your pinkies slightly in to kind of face each other. And then as you extend your arms, right, instead of locking your arms out, just give yourself a gentle bend in the arms. Okay. So grounding down through your seat, right, think about lifting from the bottom of your belly all the way up through the front and the back ribs. But taking a big breath here, think about lengthening out of your hips, up your body, up your arms, through your fingertips. Big breath in. Good. Open your mouth. Good. Take a deep breath in. Lift up through your fingers. Ground down through your root, your seat. Good. And on your exhale, you're going to drop your right hand down. Right, you can prop your fingertips up on the right, and then you're going to reach your left arm overhead. So maybe a slight bend in that right elbow. Good, and then the pinky, the left pinky, will kind of point down towards the ground, and you'll lift up through your left hip all the way out of your side body. Good, take a big breath in. Imagine opening to the left side of your lungs. And a big breath out. Good, one more. Inhaling through the left side. Open your mouth and exhale. Good, let your inhale bring you up. Breathe in. And then just settle on your exhale. Good, we'll take that to the other side. So take a deep breath in, lengthen through both sides of your ribs and your lungs. On the exhale, gently drop the left hand down. You can tent the fingertips and then reach through the right side body, the right lungs. Kind of drop your right shoulder down into its socket. Take a big breath in, create space and length. And a big breath out. Good, big breath in, create length. And a big breath out. Good, inhale, bring your arms overhead. Good, and We're just going to flow that a little bit breath to movement, very slowly and intentional. So drop the right hand down. Inhale, reach through the left side body. Exhale. Good. Inhale, sweeps you up. Bring arms overhead, lengthen. Exhale, drop the left hand, reach over with the right. Good. Inhale, come back to center. One more on each side. Exhale, drop the right hand, reach through the left side. Inhale, back to center, reach. Exhale, drop the left, reach the right fingers overhead. Good. Inhale, come back to center. And we're just going to come. You can remove the block from underneath you. And then we're going to come into a child's pose. So this is a really nice way to kind of close the heart, come back to that childlike safety. So both toes will touch behind you, right? Both toes touch. Knees spread wide as the width mat or as far as you can go. Right? Again, we're all working with different levels. And then when you're ready, you'll start to fold forward. And before you fold forward, let's bring a block underneath our forehead for some additional support. So once you start to fold forward from the hips, you'll bring the forehead down to the block, and then go ahead and reach your arms right in front of you. All right, so think about lengthening out of your hips through your side body, and then reaching all the way out through your arms and your fingers. And then just let yourself relax and be. And every time you breathe in, think about breathing into the back of the heart. And then just softening on the exhale. Notice where you may be holding some tension, whether that's your hands or perhaps your tongue is pressing on the roof of your mouth. Really just try to let that all melt away. It's like gravity is like pulling it down and away from your body. And perhaps you move your forehead from side to side and just gently massage that space in between your eyebrows. Especially if you have the block underneath your head, just gently moving your third eye across the block. Good, and then from here, we're going to take a side body stretch, so you might need to move your block out of the way. And then you're going to reach both hands over to the right, really stretching and reaching from the left hip all the way through the left ribs and the lungs. Good, breathing in, breathing out. One more inhale, exhale. And then you'll just crawl your fingers back to center. And then on your next inhale, reaching all the way over to the left. Good, dropping the forehead down. And then think about really lengthening out of your right hip all the way up through your ribs and your lungs. Good, and then coming back to center. And then this time, you'll make your way onto your seat. Coming into a nice, easy seated pose. You can have either leg in front, it doesn't matter. And then the knees We'll gently rest on the ankles. Right. Grabbing a block here. We're going to take an easy seated forward fold. So from here, think about rooting down through your sit bones, right? Lengthening up through the spine, out of the crown of the head. Good. Take a deep breath in, lengthen. And as you exhale, start to fold and hinge from your hips. Pull your belly in towards your spine, hinge forward. And then grab that block and place it wherever is comfortable. So if you have multiple books that you can stack, or if you have 2 blocks, right, you can kind of make yourself a little T-shapes here. And then just slowly bending forward. Again, we're all at different levels here. So if you find that that block is too high and you want more stretching in the hips, just remove the block. And just fold forward to your degree of comfort. And just letting the arms relax. Relaxing the jaw and the tongue. Notice where your mind may be going in these moments of stillness. It's this constant practice of just bringing it back to the breath, the present moment. And if you do notice that your mind has wandered, just be very compassionate with yourself. Just say, and just gently, gently bring it back. And every time you breathe in, just think about really breathing into the back of your heart, the back of your ribs. Think about that expansion. We're going to stay here for 5 more breaths. Always feel free to adjust or manipulate as you need to cater to your body. Take one last breath in and out. Good, and then very gently and carefully just start to press yourself all the way back up to a seat. Good. And then we'll make our way on to tabletop, hands and knees pose. So when you're ready, come into a tabletop. Stacking the shoulders over the wrist. Stacking the hips over the knees. And then just start to take whatever movement feels good here. Right? Maybe that's pressing back, moving forward. Maybe you're going in some circles. I honestly just want you to tune into what your body needs right now. Because we are always the expert of our own experiences, and no one else knows what we need besides ourselves. And I encourage you to just really close your eyes. Or if that doesn't feel good, right, just really focusing your gaze somewhere so that you can stay present. any movement that feels good here. Good, and then when you're ready, coming back to a neutral tabletop. And let's do some cat-cows. So as you inhale, you'll drop your belly, lift your gaze, right? Heart pushes forward. Cow pose. And then for cat, you're gonna press into the mat, round the spine, drop the chin into the chest. Good, inhale, cow pose, dropping the belly, lifting the gaze. Exhale, cat, rounding the spine, dropping the chin. Good, and then I just want you to take some of these on your own, right? Linking breath to movement. So inhale, cow pose, you drop the belly, lift the gaze. Exhale, cat, doming the upper spine. Just moving at your own pace. Again, throwing in any additional movement that feels good. Right, the movement doesn't have to be linear. You can maybe shake your hips from side to side. Right, I just really encourage you to tune into your body. Good, and then whenever you have finished, just coming back to a neutral tabletop, I'm going to turn this way. And we're going to come into a gate pose. So within a tabletop position, right, you're just going to extend your right leg out. So your right leg is going to reach out. And you want to imagine that your left knee is almost like intersecting the middle of your right foot. Then you're going to pull your belly in towards your spine and slowly start to lift yourself up. Bring your arms out to a T. And then the right sole of your foot, right, or excuse me, the knife edge of your foot is pressing firmly into the ground. So the left hip is stacked on top of the left knee. The shoulders are dropping down away from the ears, and the index fingers are reaching in opposite directions. Good. Take a big breath in and a big breath out. We're going to take a big breath in. And as you exhale, you're going to slide your right hand down your right leg and reach your left arm overhead. So really pressing down into the left knee, at the same time pressing down into the knife edge of the right foot. Really breathing into your left side body. Take a big breath in for length. And as you exhale, you're going to windmill your hands down. I really encourage you to grab a block or a book, right? So with your block in your hand or perhaps your book set up on the ground, you're just going to drop your left hand down, right? Left hand on a book or a block, and then reach the right fingertips up towards the sky. And again, think about creating length in between your ribs and your lungs. Reaching the right fingers up towards the sky. Take a big breath in and out. Good. Let your inhale lift you back up, belly into spine. Good. And then you're just going to bring your right knee in. So now you're standing on both of your knees. And we're going to take that to the left side. So just to set us up for this side, if you have the block or the books, place it in a spot where your right hand will go for when we do that modified side plank. So from here, you're just going to step your left foot out, right? And then the sole of your left foot is kind of intersecting your right knee. Sole of the left foot is pressing firmly into the mat, and the right hip is stacked over the right knee. Okay, take a big breath in, reach the arms overhead. Good, and then as you exhale, we're going to do the same thing. So drop the left hand, slide it down the left leg, and then reach up through the right hip. Lengthening the ribs, lungs. Take a big breath in, fill up. And a big breath out. Good, inhale. Exhale. Inhale, belly pulls in. Bring your arms out to a T. Come back to that gate pose. Good, and then on your exhale, you're going to drop your right hand down, either on the block or the books. And then reach your left fingertips up towards the sky. Really reaching through the fingers. Again, grounding down to the left foot. Notice if you're really crunching that left shoulder up towards your neck, try to drop the shoulder blade down the spine, away from the neck. Big breath in. Big breath out. And then inhale, let that bring you back up. Bring your arms out to a T. Good, and then you're just gonna bring both of your knees back together. You can release your arms down. Good, and then we're just gonna come back to a tabletop towards the front of our mat. Good, inhale, cow pose, dropping the belly, lifting the gaze. Exhale, cat, toning the other side. All right, then coming back to that neutral spine, we're going to come into a puppy pose. So grab your blocks or your book. So there's two ways you can set this up. So for puppy pose, if you would like some extra support for your head, which is what I'm going to choose, and then I'll show you the additional modification. So for puppy pose, from your tabletop, keep the hips stacked over the knees, and then you slowly start to reach your arms forward, and then the block will go underneath your forehead. And then you'll reach the fingers up towards the front of your mat. And if you notice this is a little bit too much in your armpits, you can just draw your arms a little bit closer to you. And for the other modification, it would be to have the two books underneath your hands. So I would come into my puppy pose from my tabletop, hips over knees. So to drop the heart down, reaching the arms forward, placing the hands on the blocks, right? And then you can just slowly let your head relax. Perhaps the head doesn't meet the mat, or head doesn't meet the mat. All right, so either way, just dropping down and letting your heart sink down. The heart does not have to reach the mat. And then really breathing into the back of the heart and the ribs. Good, 2 more breaths. Good, and then very gently start to lift your head, and then you'll slowly start to make your way onto your belly. So you can remove the block. We're going to come into a Sphinx pose. Let me fix the camera. We're going to come into a Sphinx pose. So the forearms are parallel to one another by making 11s with the arms. Shoulders are over the elbows. Spread the fingers nice and wide. Really pressing down through the heel of your hand. Right? The feet are spread about hips width distance apart. And then imagine pressing the pubic bone down into the earth as you reach the tailbone to the back of the room. Grounding down through the forearms. You're almost grounding down so much that you can like almost start to pull your heart forward. Pubic bone down, tailbone straight back. Take a big breath in. And a big breath out. Inhale. Exhale. Good, and then from here, I just want you to drop your chin in towards your chest. And then just take some neck circles. So maybe that just means turning your head from side to side, right? Or maybe you just take some traditional neck circles, going in one direction and then going in the other. Good, and then coming back to center, we're going to bring our arms out to a T. So you may need to kind of move any props or anything that you have around you. So from here, arms come out to a T. We're going to roll onto our right side first. So you'll lift the left knee so that the left heel is kind of kicking in towards your left glute. And then slowly, you'll start to roll all of your weight onto the right arm and side. And then you'll bring your left foot behind you and use it as like a kickstand. Right? So another great way to use a block is to bring the block underneath the right ear for some additional support, especially if the ground feels a little bit too far from you. Good. And then I just want you to just relax and breathe. Feel this opening on your right side, your right lungs, your right ribs. And if you would like to take a deeper stretch, there's always an option to lift the left arm and have it meet the right. I don't have that kind of flexibility, so I will not be doing that, but I just wanted to offer it as a suggestion. And then just settle and breathe. Your mind starts to wander gently, kindly, lovingly. Just bring it back to the breath every single time. 3 more breaths on this side. And at the bottom of your exhale, just slowly coming back. Coming back onto your belly. Both legs long down the mat. Arms come out to a T. And then we'll switch to the left side. So kick the right heel in towards the glute. And then slowly start to shift your weight onto the left side of your body. And grab that block. Place it underneath your left ear. And then just settle into this side. Notice any differences between the sensations that you may be experiencing, the emotions that come up. Again, if you would like to take this stretch a little bit deeper, you can bring your right arm overhead and perhaps reach back for your left hand. We're going to take 3 more breaths on this side. Good, and then at the bottom of your exhale, just slowly coming back onto your belly. Both legs down your mat, arms out to a T. And then just take a moment here to make a pillow, stacking your hands on top of each other and gently resting your forehead on top of that, of your palms. Good, and then gently lifting the head. You'll draw the hands underneath the shoulders. Gently press your way up to a tabletop. And then we're going to make our way into a downward facing dog. However, if down dog doesn't feel good for you, feel free to just hang out in tabletop right here. It's perfectly fine. So from here, if you're coming into down dog, tuck your toes, press into your hands, lift your hips, press your hips all the way back. Good. From here, bend into one knee, bend into the other. Just work the legs. Let your head drop in between your arms. Give yourself a really nice, generous bend in both of your knees. Press your sit bones high up to the sky. Take a big breath in and a big breath out. Good. One more, breathing in, breathing out. Good, and then from here, bend your knees and then just walk your hands back to your feet. Bending the knees a lot. We're going to take a really nice forward fold, and I encourage you to bring a block or perhaps the stack of books with you. And so from here, bring the feet about hips width distance apart. Bend the knees a lot, and then if you have that block, you'll hinge from your hips, let the arms dangle, right? And perhaps you use that block as support for the crown of your head, right? And if you need more support, right? Like I'm having a really hard time having the block meet my head. So I'm going to grab another block. And if you don't have blocks or a book, just allow yourself to bend your knees very generously rather, hinging from the hips, and just let the head and the neck relax, right? Maybe you sway from side to side. Maybe you shake your head yes or no. And if you have the blocks, right, just letting the crown of the head just gently rest. Arms dangle. Good. Take a big breath in. Last one. And a big breath out. Good. Inhale, bending your knees, belly into the spine. Very slowly just come to stand. Right, the head comes up last. Good. That's my camera. So from here, taking a big breath in, lifting the arms overhead. The feet can be hips width distance apart, slight bend in the knees. Good, reaching up through the side bodies, but gently dropping the shoulders, perhaps bending the elbows. Take a big breath in. Exhale, fold forward, bend the knees, hinge from the hips, and lead with the heart. Good, inhale, bend the knees, slowly roll up to stand, let the head come up last. Good, inhale, arms overhead, reach up through the fingers. Exhale, fold, lead with the heart, ride the breath all the way down. Good, inhale, press through the feet, lift arms overhead, inhale. This time, pause as you exhale, keeping the arms overhead. Good, inhale, reach through both arms. As you exhale, grab the left hand with the right wrist, bend your knees and reach over towards the right. Stretching out through the left side, bending the knees, firmly rooted through your feet. Good, inhale, come back to center. And as you exhale, grab the right wrist with the left hand, just gently pull it over towards the left. Feel that nice stretch in your right side. Good, inhale, come back through center, reach the arms overhead. Exhale, fold forward, ride the breath. Lead with the heart. Good, and from your forward fold, I want you to step your left foot back in space. Your left foot is back in space. Again, feel free to grab for the blocks or the books and place them to frame your front foot. Good, and then you're going to drop your back knee down. So now we're in this low lunge. Again, feel free to adjust the blocks to maybe come to the highest height or the books. Then think about pulling your right hip back in space as you push the left hip point forward. Stacking the right knee over the right ankle. And then imagine squeezing your outer hips in towards your center, right? This activates our hips so we're not just dumping into all of our joints and our muscles. Right, so outer hips really squeeze in towards the center. Take a breath in. Breath out. Good, take a big breath in. As you exhale, we're going to take a half split. So you're going to bump your hips back straight in your right leg. And then flex your toes up towards your nose, right? You may need to adjust the blocks and bring them a little bit closer to you. And don't feel that you need to completely hyperextend the right leg or lock the knee out, but just give yourself a little bend in the right knee while flexing the toes. Again, pull the right hip back. Good, one more breath. Good, and then slowly rebend into your right knee. Move the blocks with you. And then from here, we're just going to switch legs. So perhaps move the blocks temporarily, plant the hands on the mat. We're going to move into our tabletop. Good. And then we're going to move into a downward facing dog to stretch out the legs. So hips press up and back, pressing firmly into the hands. Spread the fingers wide, bend the knees. Good, and then this time we're going to take a walk to the top of our mat. So we're going to slowly walk both feet up behind the wrist. Generous bend in the knee, forward fold. Good, release the hands down, press into the feet, bend the knees, slowly rise, let the head come up last. Inhale, bring the arms overhead. Exhale, bend the knees, lead with the heart, hinge from the hips. Good, this time we're going to step our right foot back in space. Right foot is back in space. Grab those blocks, bring them to frame the right foot, and then drop the back knee down for a low lunge, or crescent lunge rather. But the right knee stacks over the right ankle. Adjust your blocks to the desired height. Good, inhale, lift the chest, gaze forward. As you exhale, half splits, bump the hips back. Bring those blocks with you if you have them. Straighten the left leg, but keep a little bend in the left knee so you're not hyperextending. Flex the toes towards your nose. Breathing into the back of the left leg. Good, one more breath. Good, from here, bend the left knee, walk the props or your hands up towards your front foot. This time you can release the blocks to the side, plant your hands, come into a tabletop, and then from here, we're just going to swing our legs out in front of us for a seated forward fold. So I apologize for all the camera movement. I don't really have that much space to set up. So from here, extend the legs long out in front of you. Go ahead and grab one of your props. And before we fold forward, really move the flesh from underneath you and get really settled and rooted. Take a big breath in, lengthen up through the crown of the head and the spine. As you exhale, think about hinging from your hip bones, right? Hinging forward, bend in the knees, especially if you have low back problems or your hamstrings are really tight. And then from here, you're going to fold forward, and then I encourage you to bring your block on top of your shins for a little bit of added support for your head, and then just let your arms relax by your legs. And as you inhale, think about lengthening the spine, and as you exhale, folding a little bit deeper. slowly start to lift your head, coming back up. Bending the knees, placing the soles of the feet on the mat, and then you can just slowly start to make your way onto your back. Once you've landed on your back, draw your knees into your chest. Give yourself a little bit of a squeeze. And then draw both knees over to the right for a twist. Extend your left arm out long to the side. And really try to ground your left shoulder blade down onto the mat. Bring your knees through center, take an inhale. And then on your exhale, drop both knees over to the left, stacking the knees. Extend the right arm out to the side, grounding the right shoulder blade down into the mat. Good, drop both knees back to center in towards your chest. Giving yourself a nice little squeeze. Take a big breath in. And then on your exhale, coming into your Shavasana. So extending your arms and legs long down your mat. Feel free to grab any props that might assist you in making you the most comfortable. Blocks underneath the knees, or perhaps grabbing a blanket. And then just closing your eyes and just allowing all the yoga to do its work. Right here, we let the dust settle. And we just kind of bask in this energy. Let go of any manipulation of the breath. Relaxing your face and your jaw and your whole body. Grief is not linear. There is no one path that we can follow. There are no steps that we can take. Grief oscillates in the most mysterious ways. Grief is not just death, but it is any disturbance to our natural day-to-day. And I think there's a huge misconception on what grief really is. Individually, we have all grieved the loss of our normal day-to-day life, but collectively, there is so much grief to move through. And if we do not give ourselves the opportunity to move through our own grief properly, in a supportive way, there is no way we can collectively heal the grief. We have to get down into the nitty-gritty, because when we acknowledge our sorrow is when we truly start to embody joy. days that we feel like we just cannot push anymore, just know that if you come face to face with your sorrow, there will be some tears, absolutely. There will be joy and peace on the other side. Gently start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. You can gently move your head from side to side if that feels good. Perhaps taking a nice long body stretch, or really any movement that feels good for you as you start to reawaken your body. And then you'll roll onto your right or left side for a fetal position. Just taking a moment to acknowledge your practice today, acknowledge you showing up and supporting yourself. When you feel ready, pressing yourself up to a comfortable seat at the top of your mat. You can, again, if it's comfortable, keep your eyes closed, or if it feels better to have them open, just a slight gaze at the tip of your nose or something in front of you. I just want you to place your left hand on your heart, sitting up nice and tall. Just say thank you. Thank you, breath, for supporting me, bringing in fresh oxygen into my lungs, for anchoring me. Thank you, body, for holding me up, even on days where I don't feel good, when everything hurts. Thank you for allowing me to feel this pain. Thank you to our arms, our heart, our legs, our stomach, our feet, our head, everything. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Bring your hands to heart center. Left palm meets the right palm in front of your heart. Take a deep breath in through your nose, fill up. Open your mouth. Thank you so much for being here and allowing me to guide you through your practice. I wish you the best. I wish for the utmost support for you in your life. And I hope that you take extra good care of yourself. Thank you. Be well. Thank you so much, everybody. Such an honor to be with you and practice with you. My name is Gabby, coming to you from Boulder, from with Hands to Heart Center. Thank you again to Boston Public Library. And I hope you feel nice and relaxed. And James, I'm sorry if you're still here. I'm sorry we didn't get to incorporate the massage of the feet. So I hope you can do that on your own time. Thank you again. Many blessings to you. Take good care of yourself. Be well. Be kind. And yeah, hopefully see you guys again soon. Thank you so much. Bye.